Hi, Juniper Formation community and church. I am Morgan Fletcher, and I get to serve as chair of our leadership team. And today I get to share with you our journey of becoming a church and how it captures joy and faith for me. You may notice I am in a traditional church sanctuary. It's actually the church I work for. And that's something that is unique about our church, Juniper Formation. We don't have a church building. And for a while, we didn't even have a church, at least in name. The way we functioned was shifting towards nonprofit and connected to kind of a new expression of parachurch ministry. And over the year and a half that we really tried to move that way, it just kept snagging along the way. There would be things that didn't align and things that felt strange. And over time, as the leadership team leaned into discernment, we realized the snag was that we weren't a nonprofit. We were a church. And we realized that's how we had been functioning. Through our relationships, through our intentionality to discern the movement of the Spirit, through figuring out how to bring worship to everything we do, whether it's one of our Slack groups or through the new spiritual well or through the amazing work you heard from Jenny LaJoy last week. These all are ways that we seek to bring about worship. And we realized that as a leadership team, it was an avenue for spiritual reflection and engagement. And over time, we realized that the reason we couldn't make nonprofit incorporation work in the sense of a organization or parachurch type ministry was that God had called us to be a church. And soon after we discerned that, things started to align. And it doesn't always make sense. A lot of folks, when they hear that we are a church, ask about our building, ask about our budget, ask about our ministry partners. And we have to do a good bit of reframing and inviting people into the creative space that is Juniper Formation. And so while our narrative may not look like a traditional church, we fit in the ways of church by how we live, how we love, and through the discernment of the Spirit. And it brings me joy to begin planting a church with those like Jenny Witcher and Jenny LaJoy and Jason Whitehead and Jeanette Rojas, and through Javon Bracey and through Caitlin and Allison and all these people who are connected through this amazing natural way of being church. So if you've never connected with us through a chance of worship, in 2021, there will be more chances for you to join worship. If you need spiritual direction and formation, we have those opportunities for you. Maybe you're like me and you are professional clergy and you're trying to figure out how not to replicate a strategic plan, but explore what it is to imagine spiritual direction and discernment for your congregation. We'd love to journey with you. For us, church is not just about Juniper Formation as an isolated congregation itself. It's about joining you and how we collectively, creatively, prophetically reimagine the church. Not because there's things wrong with the church, but the Spirit of God never stops. And the Spirit of the divine that dwells within each and every one of us is stirring to create something new. It brings me joy. It challenges my faith. So on this Sunday, or week rather, of joy and faith, I invite you to journey with us, exploring how Juniper Formation may bring you joy and enhance your faith as we stumble into living out being church in our way, our expression of the gospel. And we are so grateful for the fact that we were earnest in our discernment process and that it brought us here. We are now a church, and it's not what any of us thought we would be doing, and yet it's exactly what God has guided us to. I hope that whatever your journey is, that you too find joy and faith along the way. And if we can be a part of that with you, we look forward to it. Because let's face it, doing this stuff alone, we've learned in 2020 in a whole new way, is really tricky. So we would love to be church with you. Whether you are a pastor like me or looking for a new expression of church, maybe you've been hurt by the church and want to seek redemption in how it lives in the world. We'd love to learn alongside you and be a part of creating something prophetic, something new. May you be blessed and cared for and find joy and faith in whatever brings you truth in this season of hope, peace, joy, and love.